Hey guys, welcome to ANS Solver. Today we'll be doing the concept of the key terms used in questions. Okay, this is basically a revisor. Okay, because we'll be going through some AS level concepts, some terminology. Okay, which are used in the past papers in the topic of differentiation. So the first term we have is stationary point. Whenever you see the term stationary point, you should know that your gradient, which is your dy by dx, okay, is basically equal to 0. Correct? So what they normally do is they tell you that there's a stationary point and they ask you to calculate the x coordinate. So whenever you get your dy by dx, you equate it to 0 and calculate your x. Correct? Now let's come to a maximum and minimum point. You should know that both of these, okay, are stationary points. Okay, at both these points the gradient is equal to 0. Okay, but now to determine whether it's a maximum or a minimum point, you need to calculate the f double dash of x, the double derivative. Okay, this is what you need to calculate. If the double derivative is negative, that means it's a maximum point. Correct? And if the double derivative here is positive, then it's a minimum point. This is what you need to know. Okay, we've done this in AS level also. So what you can basically do is, okay, first you calculate, you equate your dy by dx to 0, you get an x coordinate, then you calculate the double derivative. Okay, basically you differentiate the dy by dx again, and then you substitute the value of x which you have obtained. If you get negative, then it's a maximum point. If you get a positive, then it's a minimum point. Correct? Simple. Now we can go to the concept of tangent and normal. So when you normally calculate your dy by dx, you basically obtain your tangent, the gradient of the tangent. And let's say if the gradient of my tangent is m, then the gradient of the normal is minus 1 over m. So basically the gradient of the normal is the opposite sign, okay, and reciprocal. Okay, is the opposite sign and reciprocal of the gradient, okay, of the tangent. Correct? This is what you need to know. So basically, let's say if the gradient of the tangent, the normal dy by dx, I get is 5, then the gradient of the normal will be the opposite sign and reciprocal. So first I'll write the reciprocal and the opposite sign, which is minus. Correct? Let's say if I have the equation of the tangent or the gradient of the tangent, sorry, not equation, as minus 1 over 4, then the gradient of the normal will be the opposite sign and reciprocal. So first I write 4, correct, which is the reciprocal, and the opposite sign is positive. So I basically get positive 4. Getting the concept? Really simple. Now let's say if they specify in the question that the line which you have is parallel to the x-axis or y-axis. Okay, so now in these kind of questions you normally get your dy by dx already, and it's normally in a fraction form. Let's say if I get something like x square minus 2 divided by y cube minus 2x. Okay, this is, let's say, my dy by dx. So in the x-axis, if they specify that the line is parallel to the x-axis, okay, you can normally equate your dy by dx to 0. Correct? Or you can simply, if it's a fraction, okay, in this case what you can do is you can equate your numerator, sorry, just give me 1 second. You can equate your numerator to 0, correct? Because the denominator goes to the other side and multiplies with 0, correct? When you do dy by dx equals to 0. Why do we do dy by dx equal to 0? Because if you see here, let's say this is your graph, okay, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, and let's say if a line is parallel to the x-axis, then it looks something like this. And as you can see here, the gradient, your dy by dx, will be equal to 0, correct? So this was basically for the understanding sake. I'll just erase it so that it's clear. Okay, so the basic way to remember is, if they say that the line is parallel to the x-axis, okay, equate your dy by dx to 0, which will basically lead you to the numerator equal to 0. And let's say if they say that the line is parallel to the y-axis, okay, that means you just need to equate, okay, your denominator, okay, denominator equal to 0. Basically in this case, if you see, so mostly you get it in the fraction form if they have asked you the parallel to the y-axis. So in this case, the denominator I'll just do y cube minus 2x equals to 0 if it's parallel to the y-axis, correct? So the simple way to remember is, if the line is parallel to the x-axis, the numerator equals to 0. If it's parallel to the y-axis, then the denominator equal to 0, correct? This is what I basically need to know. Okay, so these were some key terms which they use in in the questions. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the chapter of differentiation. Okay, but only knowing the concept of differentiation won't help. There are many different type of questions which they ask in past papers, and in case you have any doubts or you get stuck while solving the topic wise past papers, you can view the video solutions, okay, which we provide, so that you have a clear knowledge of how to solve the question, and you can simply master this chapter. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.